Now that I have the oil, I can pay for the upgrade, and I need to move again anyway, so this is going to be what the action I will take. So for my first move, I'm going to move this mech over here into the wooded area, and he's going to bring both workers and all the goods with him, so that I have workers to consume those goods later, and I will move my hero there. Then I will pay the 2 oil to do the upgrade action. Now, being able to produce on 3 lands would be great, or receiving 2 hearts. I'm going to start needing hearts. Receiving 3. So, 2 coins or 3 character movements. Wow, all of those are good, but let's for now take the produce on 3 lands. I'm going to stick this right there because I want to do that action here in just a moment. I also get 1 coin from the bank right here. For doing the upgrade, I also get 1 coin. And move a worker and gain 2 might. Move up on the star track. Well, let's just start with this. Give them their 2 military strength, and let's move the camera down here onto the board and take a look at the move action. So we pick a worker that is closest to the base. Well, they have 2, doesn't matter, you pick 1. Then they move to a territory that is closest to the factory, that's closest to the most other units. Now, this space can be moved into by 1, 2, 3, 4 units. This one can be moved into by 1, 2, 3. Also, this space would be next to one of my units. So if it were a tie, it would always choose the space away from that. So it's going to move up here. That is the tile that is next to other red units that the most units could move into. So it slowly expands. It doesn't just jump over here. Now the reason this one moved here is because, actually that one should have moved there last time, 1, 2, 3. It could have moved there. And then this one would move here, 1, 2, 3. So, I did them in the wrong order, but they still go in the right spot. Works out anyway. Alright, I think I'm going to take the trade action. Let me move this out of the way again for the camera. I will pay the 1 coin, and I will take 2 ore, okay, because I am on 2 different hexes with workers. I can put an ore on each one of those. Then I will drop down here and I can pay 4 ore. Well, I have another 2 strength card, so let's use that and then use the 3 ore I had on the board to deploy another mech. And the mech must go on a space that has a worker. Not a problem. This time, I think I'm going to take this one. A +1 movement hex. All my mechs and my hero will be able to move 1 extra space whenever they move. So instead of just moving 1 space, now they'll move 2. And let's just put them on the board right there where the ore was. Actually, no, I'll put them up here because I think I might want to move one of those workers later. And we're back to the automa, and they skipped their turn. So that was really quick. And actually, once you kind of understand the symbols and how the actions turn, they do go quick. Now I definitely want to move, so I will move 2 units. I don't have oil to pay for that upgrade, so let's get this out of the way and slide this up here and look. Now, my hero and my mechs can move up to 2 units now, but I'm going to stop at 1. Now, if I were to encounter any red piece, if I was here, let's say I had 10 movement, which is ridiculous and it's impossible in this game. But let's say I had 3 movement, I would have to immediately stop there. So I will choose to stop in the factory because I want to get a factory card before the AI gets in there and steals one that I might think is good. I am going to pick up one of these workers and I'm going to move 1, 2. I will get right there on this oil field. There we go. I'll leave this wheat over there. I think it's a little better protected, or the food. Alright, so I'm ending my turn, or my movement, on the factory. Now, technically, you would do the top, you move. If you have combat, you resolve the combat and your encounters, then you would do this. But I don't have the oil to do that. So, let's take a look at the factory cards. So the story in the book goes is that this factory in the center used to produce the mechs, and it's shut down, and people are running there trying to get tech for themselves. Now, I was talking about earlier, if my hero had 3 movement, every factory card at the bottom gives the ability to move 2. And you can only ever have 1 factory card per game. Now, here, if I took my token for my turn and I went here, I could pay 1 reputation to either put out a mech or a monument. That is awesome, but I don't really want to pay my reputation. It's still low. And if you remember, at the end of the game, you get points based on how high up your reputation is. And mine is stuck really low. Same thing with this. I could get enlists or the upgrade. So right now I haven't had any problem with money, and all of my bottom row actions, except for the mech, which I only need 2 more of them to have them all out, give me money. So I would be able to get more money, and plus this will give me the hearts. I think I'm going to take this one. So I take this, and then these 2 would go back. So in a multiplayer game, you pick up all the cards, you look, you take 1, and put the rest back. And there's always 1 more than the number of players. Those will go back to the board, and that ends my turn. Alright, let's see what the robot is up to this time. Nothing. Alright, they're up to nothing. So, I guess they're just sitting there giving more speeches in that village. Alright, so I think I will go ahead and do that, and I will use my new acquired action from the factory. So, at the top, I will pay 2 coins. So, there's 3. Let me get 1 change, and I get to do an upgrade action and receive a heart, a reputation. So, for my upgrade action, let's upgrade the, there we go, more trade and more money. Since I'm going to be paying money, I might need to get more money. And let's get the monuments cheaper. I only need 2 more mechs, so I may upgrade those at the end. And then we slide over here, and I gain 1 reputation. So I'm not even halfway through my first game, and the turns are really starting to move along now that you know what you're doing, or know what I'm doing. And they're not playing with this faction, so we skip that, so we move a mech. Do this, they have a mech in their base, so we will do that. Then they're going to get another worker and another mech, and I would get a reputation if I had that unlocked on my player map, but I do not. I have the bonus combat card. And then 1 movement on the star chart. They're only 2 away before we reach the level 2, and I'll show you that when we get there. So the card was a move mech action, non-attack. So they want to move as close to a combat unit as they can. Boom. Because this space is right next to a combat unit, and 1, 2, 3 of its other units can get to it. It cannot move in here to fight me because it was not a combat card. It was a move next to. And it cannot stop in the lake, so it will move here next to my mech, threatening my poor old workers. And the mech and worker go there. The trade action. So I will pay 1 coin. Let's take a wood and an oil. I'll just put them on their regular tiles. There we go. And I don't have the resources to pay for that, and that will end my turn. Okay, so let's see. Now, I have been jumping around and holding some of these till I can move the camera, but you always do everything in order. So, I move a mech if there is one to move, or if it's a legal move. Then, if not, you move the worker. Then, after you do the move, then they gain these rewards. But I'm going to go ahead and do the star now. Move that up. I'm going to go ahead and pick up a mech ready to bring over there, but I won't put it onto their home base until after I move a mech. And now I'm thinking I've really missed my opportunity to attack him. I should have done that there. So this mech will move as close as it can to an attack unit that is not in a space with an military unit. So it will move there, and then this goes here. I really should have moved in there when it was just a one-on-one fight. If this was a player, they could use 2 combat cards, 1 for each mech. And me, I could only use the 1. But that is their movement. Let's see what I'm going to do about that. Okay, so I do have a quick correction to make. The AI never moves 2 mechs into the same space, so it would go here. That is the closest to my combat unit. Now, what will I do on my turn? I'm really scared to fight them because I don't want to have to retreat all the way back to my base and leave all these goods and stuff unprotected. Let's produce, since I can now produce on 1, 2, 3 lands. I don't have to pay anything for it, and I get to produce on 3 separate territories. And now I will have a ton of goods. So I will have this territory with the worker. He's hidden here. This territory with the worker. And this territory with the worker. Then, do I want to build a monument? I can. 1, 2, and then a combat card. Ugh. They're both 4s. I hate to get rid of a good high number, but I'm going to do that, and I'm going to build my monument. And I think I'm going to stick it just right here. You can only have 1 monument per territory, and it has to be somewhere with a worker. So I'm going to put it there for now. But if I look right here, it says that I get to build a monument on a hex with a worker and then get 2 money. So, grab my 2 coins and on to the AI. Let's hope they don't attack me. So let's see what the AI has planned to mess with me this time. So they're going to move a mech next to me again. And they do have a mech in their base. I'm looking at that, so we can ignore this and this. They are the red faction, so they will get a worker. That is their last worker, so they don't get the extra worker, and then a coin. So, if I can grab it, I will put this coin right here on their board. That's no problem. This worker will go to their main base, and they move up a star. Now, this is what happens. Maybe I should have attacked them. This moved up to the star. Now, it's kind of hard to see in the background. It is colored in, but they also put the Roman numeral 2 on there. Okay, so I simply take this star and put it on the board. I'll show you in a moment. But then we take all these cards and these, and we're going to shuffle. And for the rest of the game, we will draw the more difficult side 2. Now, let's take a look. If I can get the camera up there, I just set the star there just to show that they have a star for something. Don't know what it was for, but they earned a star because they can earn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If it goes all the way to the end of this, they could get 6 stars. But they can also get stars for winning combat or for getting their power all the way up. Alright, this is really not looking good for me. So, the mech, it would want to get as close to the factory next to it as it can, but it's not going to park inside the lakes. So it's going to go all the way down here and get next door to that mech again. And then I will place their last worker on their home base. Now, let's see what I want to do about all of that. I have this opened up now, and I think this is going to be a good action for me to take. So I will move here and pay 1 coin to take my bolster action. And I'm going to get 2 military strength this time. But I also gain a reputation, moving me up to 7. So now I'm in the 2nd tier of scoring. Then I go down here. Do I have a food I can pay? Yes, I do. So that means I get to enlist and get 3 coins. So I will just get 3 coins back. I'm going to go ahead and do that before I forget. And I get a combat card because me or one of the people beside me did this action and I have it uncovered. So go ahead and take a combat card. Boom, a 5. That's helpful. Alright. So I need to pay the 1 food. So if we can see it right here, take this food. There we go. That was, a really great turn for me. That's going to help me out a lot because I really feel like combat's going to start any moment now. This will be the first turn for the AI at the level 2 side of the card. So let's see. They are not the blue faction, but they will move a mech. Okay. I will look at that in a moment. I don't have this uncovered yet. I hope to get that soon, so I don't get that bored. Let's go ahead and move the star up. That's the easiest. They get 1 coin. They get 1 combat card. Let's not look at that. They get 1 mech onto their board. Let's go move the other mech and then place this one. So the card we drew was a move mech, not an attack mech. So they don't have one in their base, so we found the one closest to the base. 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces away. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So these 2 are tied. We go in reading order. Top left, this would be the first one I get to. So I pick it up. Now, can it get next to one of my combat units? Yes, it can, right there. That is a legal move by simply staying where it's at. Then we will put their last mech on the board. Time for my turn. Alright. I think I'm going to take my move action and move 2 units, 1 space, or mechs and heroes 2 spaces because the mech I have on board. Now I will pay the 2 oil that I have on the board to do an upgrade and gain a coin. So let me go ahead and do that now. Do that part before I forget. So there's the 1 coin. I'll put it in my pile and do an upgrade. So I'm going to go ahead and upgrade over here. I will get 3 strength when I bolster next time. And let's make my monuments even cheaper to build. I think I'm going to move this person 1 and move let him take all the goods with him and move this mech 1, 2. So at least I have a little more reinforcement there, and that is my turn. I almost forgot. I guess I don't need to carry those oil with me because I paid these for the upgrade cost. Nope, not that faction. Move a mech. Yes, they have a mech. Oh, and they don't have a worker to gain. but they're going to gain 3 more strength. Now, I could gain a heart, but I haven't got that recruit yet. And they move up. Oh, they are moving fast over here. I'm really getting worried now. I don't think I'm playing very well, even on the easiest difficulty. Let's move a mech and get them 3 strength. So perhaps I should have moved my hero back a space just to lure them around, because their mech can't move in the ocean. It wants to be close to the factory next to a unit, which means it has to move all the way down here and get right in my face again. 1, 2, 3. I'm not liking you, AI. Alright, let's see what I'm going to do. Okay, I think I want to take the trade action. Let's move this out of the way. Got to pay a coin. Not a problem. Got some. And I'm going to trade up to 2 tiles that have a worker. Any 2 goods. I'll take a wood, put it here, and I will take an oil, and I'll put it. Let's put it way over here, out of the way. Now, cannot pay 4 ore for a mech. I'm not worried about that right now. But let's take a look at the board for a moment. Now, divide and conquer. Have no factory cards. Well, I have a factory card now, so I can't do this. And control at least 2 territories adjacent to the factory at the end of your turn. Now, I would have had to move past the factory into here and push him out, or over there, and move mechs in here. And I would have had to have done that very early in the game. This is another reason why they tell you to draw 2, because once I got this factory card, I can no longer complete this. So, have at least 1 upgrade. I have several upgrades. Remember, that is the gears icon. When you move a cube from the top green area to the bottom red area. So, have at least 1 upgrade. Check. 1 mech. Check. 1 structure. Yes, I built this monument. 1 recruit. Yes, I took the recruit that gives me the free combat cards. And 1 of each resource at the end of your turn. Let's see. So I have a wood, I have a iron, I have some food, and I have oil. So, there are no enemy units on those tiles. I have control of those goods, so I have completed this. Okay? So I just take both of these. This will be discarded. These are no good anymore. So I'll just put these on the bottom of the pile. Doesn't matter. But I completed that. So I get my star. And I get to up here. It says, did I complete? Yes, I did. So now I have a star on the board. Alright. And okay, if they were the yellow faction, they would try to attack. Ouch. I don't need to know all that because they are not that faction. So, factory or encounter. They can't get to the factory. Can they get to an encounter? They will get a combat card and 2 coins. So, let me just give them a 3 and take 1 and random combat card. Then I would get a coin if I had uncovered that, but I have not. Star movement. So let's check on this movement. So this is one thing I've double checked in the book that they don't go over super well. Factory or encounter. Now, where this is listed in the Automa instruction solo player manual, it's under the non-combat movement for mech and units. So I would assume, since only the heroes can have encounters and go to the factory, I'm in there. They can't move to the factory, otherwise they would. So they would move for an encounter. Well, they have 2. They have 2. They have 1 there and 1 there. So they will move, and 1 here. But they'll move to the one closest to the factory. Well, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. They have a unit here. So I would, but this one is closest to the factory. 1, 2, 3. So you go in reading order. Reading order breaks the tie, top of the. So I'm going to send them here with their river walk to have this encounter, and I simply remove that, and that is it. That's all for them this turn. Okay, I think it's time to take one of these monster bolster turns again. So, pay 1 coin. That is not a problem. And I will take 3 strength. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I really feel like I'm fixing to have to fight them to push them off, get me a victory point and such. Plus, I gain a honor or prestige, so I will move up to 8. Then I will do the secondary and pay the food. Well, I have 1 food right here. You can barely see it there at the top of the screen. I will pay that food to enlist and gain 3 coins. Okay. Alright. 3 coins right there. And I will go ahead and take my combat cards, and since that is revealed, a 2. Not a big deal, but that's a free resource. And let's see, which one will I enlist? Alright, I think I want this one. It will soon start costing me combat points to recruit new workers. And I will spend some in combat. I'm going to start losing those. I want to start getting them every time that the computer uses them. And I think I'm also going to do similar to what I did last time and just place it right here. Boom. And go ahead and get 2 more combat. Now, it looks like we're tied, but remember, you can never spend more than 7 in a combat. But if I can get it up to 16, I will get a star and put it up on top of the star track. Alright. They're not the green players, so we skip that. They're going to try to attack a worker or move a worker. Okay, then they're going to get 3 combat strength and a coin. Ooh, and I get a combat card. But I get that after all this is done. But since we're not going into actual combat, if they can help it, I'll just go ahead and grab that. So, 1 coin for them. Looking ahead, I will tell you I've already looked over here at the board before I move the camera. They can never go up or down in prestige. Okay? And I'll show you why that's important now. Alright, 3 combat strength. Let's do this. Yeah, I had this horrible foreboding. They want to attack a worker who is unprotected. That's what it means. So the mech closest to their base. 1, 2, 3 hexes. These 2 units are tied for distance from the base, so we go in reading order. Next, we check all the land next to the Automa's units to see if any of them contain an unprotected worker. And there is right here, so the mech will move in to claim this hex. Next, we must retreat our worker back to our home base. If this was a move in a multiplayer game, the aggressive player would lose 1 reputation point for each worker sent fleeing home, but the Automa can never gain or lose reputation. Next, they claim the resources in the hex and remove them from the board. To end the AI's turn, we will give them 3 more combat strength. Almost forgot to advance the Automa along the star track, so I will do that now. I definitely want to push them back out of my land, so I need to take the move action. Let me adjust the camera. I will move that worker that's in my home base out into the fields. Then I will move one of these mechs down for combat. Now I would like to be able to pay the 2 oil here for my last upgrade, but I must complete the combat before I can move down to the bottom portion of the board. Combat's done in between. During combat, the player must choose their strength before resolving the AI strength. And I really want to win this combat for a star and move them out, so I will use my combat card of 5 and a strength of 7. In multiplayer, you would do this at the same time. 1 board for the attacker and 1 for the defender. Now, for the Automa, simply draw the next card from their deck. We are only concerned with the combat table along the side of the card. We look for their current combat strength, and oh wow, the AI is choosing to use 0 combat strength. So if you look here, their combat strength is currently 14 or more. So they would use the number underneath, which is 0 this time. So a bit of overkill on my part. Then this says they will use 1 random combat card. So let's just shuffle those up. I'm still going to win regardless, but it doesn't matter, and it's a 3. So, since their total combat strength is more than 0, they will receive another combat card as a consolation prize. Now we earn spoils. Let's look at the top card of the other discard pile. We look for the color wheel icon. Some of these can have multiples, 2, 3, even 0, but this one has 1 resource. So that is to represent 1 resource they may have left behind in the hex, so I grab an ore. And cannot forget to move up here and place a star for winning a combat. Now, you can do that up to 2 times winning victories in combat unless you're one of the other factions. We won 1 medal since we won on a metal mine. And normally you would retreat back to your base. But with the AI, it goes all the way back to their player mat and only comes back out if they have draw a card to gain a mech back. So I regained control of this territory. I got that resource there now. It's mine. So I got one of the resources back. I lost that wood. Alright, not too bad. Now I can continue with my action. I had taken the move action. Now I can pay 2 oil. Well, here's 1 oil. And I have that 2 combat card that I will use. Okay. So I get to do an upgrade action. Right there. And gain a coin. So, still not having problems with coins. Upgrade. Let's see. Let's do... I'm eventually going to need hearts, but I also need to move. Don't think it matters too much. Moving around is good, though. Let's do that. And that's the only upgrade I have left. Alright, so all that happened on my turn. Now it's time for the AI's turn. Yeah, I'm a little upset with myself leaving that one worker unguarded, but I won the combat. Let's see what happens. They're going to move a mech. Okay. They're not the yellow player. They're going to get 2 power. That's not good. And get a mech back. Not a big deal. Ooh, but I do now have the recruit that gives me a power, so I will gain a power. Let's do the star. Move the star up. Oh no, they got another star. So I'm going to put this on the board up there. So now they have 2 stars out. Let's move over and look at what else they're doing.